Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Haley Carbajal joining us. Excited to have our creator of 5 Steps to Alignment joining us here. She's amazing. We had a great discussion last week, and we always do. She's helping so many. Let me have her do the honors and tell us a little bit about what you do. Again, 5stepstoalignment.com.
Yeah, so I am a spiritual coach and mentor, and my mission is to help those who have a higher calling or have a bigger dream on their heart, who are struggling with fear, stagnation, or lack of direction in the pursuit of their higher calling. That is what I do.
All right. And so we call you empath. What is your title? You're like, I'm just
Yeah,
me.
I like to refer to myself as a star seed coach specifically. But I have the energy healing capabilities, the psychic mediumship, the empathic, in a way, jack of all trades, but with a very specific niche, these traits and gifts are applied.
So you're here helping people break habits, live their purpose. Tell us how you wanted to start off today's show. What did you want to focus on?
Well, today I actually wanted to talk about emotional intelligence because I think that there's a lot of conventional wisdom out there that's a one size fits all, and that helps nobody, right? Even the shirts that say one size fit all is not a one size fits all, right? So really when it comes to our emotions, first of all, in my perception, there are no good and are no bad emotions. There are ones that help to bring forth the subconscious density or the subconscious limitations, and ones that amplify a beautiful state of being, right? So the whole point about emotional intelligence, like when people say control your emotions, my perception of what they actually mean is that you don't control your emotions in a way where you push it down or try to distort it or dilute it in any way. What it actually means is that you control your response to your emotions. So that is taking the step back and understanding that you are capable of being the observer that is observing you, and simply just get curious as to what these emotions are trying to tell you. And so, it's obvious that the emotions like happiness, gratitude, joy all align you to the abundance and prosperity and good things in the world. We all know that, so I'm not going to waste time talking about that. What I'd really like to talk about is the denser emotions. And I use dense specifically because really all it is a lower frequency of experiencing life, right? So it's just dense. So things like anger, frustration, grief, sadness, depression, all of those things, we're told don't. A lot of spiritual people freak out because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to feel anger because that means I'm going to attract angry circumstances in my life. However, if you do not address the anger, it's going to be this nebulous thing like a thorn in your side that continues to have unconscious control over your decision making. And that is actually when you start to attract angry people or angry circumstances in your life. But when you can recognize that the emotion of anger, frustration, whatever, fill in the blank as it pertains to you, when you can actually recognize that that denser emotion is coming up for a higher reason, and you allow yourself to sit there and feel it and find the purpose in the pain, or find the higher vibrational, higher conscious meaning to what that dense emotion is telling you, then you can actually alchemize it and move forward in your day with that happiness, bliss, and joy. Because I don't know why it is. I didn't create this universe, obviously. I don't know why it is, but we most often learn from the harder parts of our life, from the denser parts of our life, from the hardships in our life, from the struggles and challenges. And we are not meant to hide from them. That's the first problem, is people hide from them. We should actually be embracing them, because that is where the handcrafting of our higher intelligence takes place. So when things like anger, frustration, blah, 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 yada, 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 you fill it in as it pertains to you, be intelligent with it. Don't look at it as an attack on you, because that's a victim mentality and that will get you nowhere. I could talk about the victim mentality for days without water. But when those denser emotions are coming up, simply just get curious as to why, because that means you're on the brink of a massive breakthrough or a massive transformation. And there's another person, there's a higher vibrational, higher knowing, more joyful and happy person on the other side of facing that denser emotion.
Are you here, Haley? Can you hear
Yeah.
me again? All right,
Yep.
good. All right. And let's just remind everyone how we can contact you, please.
5steps2alignment.com, or I'm really active on Instagram, and that's just the @ with 5 steps to alignment, @ 5 steps to alignment.
And could you share a little bit about the law of attraction, the hack that you offer? It's one of your specialties.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't use the law of attraction at all. By the way, Jill, I just want to tell you, you look absolutely gorgeous in that blue. Absolutely gorgeous in that blue.
Thank you. I appreciate
Um,
it.
yeah, yeah, and I hope you had a good Easter. So,
Me too.
I don't, so the law of attraction is outdated, and here's why. So, because the earth and humanity was at a denser level of consciousness at that time, that was all the information they could convey. So if we go to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he says that you can't think beyond what you feel. And so if the world was primarily in a space of survival and trying to build a foundation, right? Really, it was more survival and more, there was more anger. There was a lesser understanding of oneself. And even the things I talk about would have been very woo-woo,
Mhm.
right? Because they can't think beyond what they feel, the information that whoever brought that in was at a denser level of consciousness, and that's all they could convey at that time, right? What we're actually using is the laws of alignment, the laws of frequency, the laws of creation. Because even to say, like, guys, we're told we are the creators of our reality, not the attractors. And so we don't attract love, we create the opportunity to find love. We don't attract wealth. Anybody who has found and built wealth and prosperity in their life knows that they had to create that. They didn't attract it, right? And so to say that you are attracting something means that you have to pull this thing from outside of yourself, which is completely incongruent with a lot of spiritual teachings. And you have to like change
Yep.
or put in all of this hard work and effort to get what you want, when in reality the everything that you need to create what you want is within you. It's just a matter of releasing the old, releasing the limiting beliefs, upgrading your habits so
Mm-hmm.
that you can create and really generate that opportunity for what you want.
Mm, I love it. You're so positive. You're so uplifting. My goodness. Maybe it's yeah, you got it. You got it. Obviously, you know you got it. You helped me
Yeah.
out last week too. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really passionate about what I talk about, because really language, even though language is secondary because the universe doesn't speak a language, it speaks in frequency. Each word has a specific frequency, and attraction really automatically implies that it's already separate from you. I have to attract this. I have to attract this. No, that's a scarcity consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you could say, I get to create it, I get to bring it in my life, and I get to watch the magical unfolding of how it's going to come into my life, and I get to participate and co-create in that, that's a completely different vibration than I have to meditate so I can attract it,
Yeah,
or I have to do this so I can attract it. That's BS.
I
That's
agree.
total BS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you have any questions or anything you want me to elaborate on that?
No, no, it makes perfect sense, but it's just crazy to think that there's a lot of us out there still who have limiting beliefs and sometimes have trouble to work on it. But when you hear the positive impacts and all, you yourself have been rejected hundreds of times. I think you talked about that, right? Before
Yes.
you started out. I mean, so many of us get rejected, but there's something that's a burning desire to, but some people just give up. Not everybody has this desire, but I feel like we all want to go to that next level, the next step, and make our lives better. But some of us are just scared. So the people out there are listening today, hearing this, but fearful of, how I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm scared. What do you say to those people that have this negative opinion and energy right now?
Yeah. So I want to say, first of all, majoritively, it's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Majoritively, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. There's
Yep.
a difference, right? So, yes, you have been conditioned to
Mm-hmm.
believe that you are limited.
Yep.
You have been conditioned to believe that life works a certain way. But when you get exposed to
Yep.
another reality of life or another way of being, a different
Ooh.
lifestyle,
Yep.
that is creator showing you what's possible. And therefore, you must take action, start generating habits, start making connections that are congruent with the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle that you want to have. That was like a big thing that was missing even in the movie The Secret, which I watched because I
Uh-huh.
believed in it that time. They didn't talk about action. You are meant to co-create. The universe needs you to exist, and you also need the universe to exist. There is a codependency, for lack of better words, between the two, right? So whatever, I've always said that whatever you can't do on your own, the universe will make up for on your behalf. But the universe is a mirror, right? So you can't expect the mirror, as Bashar has channeled, you can't expect the mirror to smile at you first, because you must first smile at the mirror. And
Yep.
then by nature, the
Yep.
laws of nature, the mirror will smile back. So if you're feeling negative, that's when I really think that you should seek out a mentor. And I'd love to help. But really, I understand it's not your fault what you were exposed to as a child. It's not your
Mm-hmm.
fault what all of these things, but also it's your responsibility. If you want different, then you need to act and choose differently. It's really not that hard, Jill. And I don't say that out of arrogance or out of ego.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely beautiful that it is so simple.
Mm-hmm.
But don't confuse simple with easy,
True.
right? That's
Yep.
why most don't continue. And here's the thing, too. So when I got rejected 208 times over the course of, that
Wow.
was several months. That was several months of rejections, of losing massive financial savings. That was losing friends and family because they thought that I was crazy and pursuing what I wanted. That was that it was a really devastating part of my life. And here's, I could have given up, right? But I had this strong vision of what my life would look like on the other side. And so that's where it's like, where is your focus? Are you focused on all of the things that aren't working? Or are you focusing on where you could potentially be if you just paid the price for your dream? The bigger the price, the bigger the hardship, the bigger the challenge, the higher the reward on the other side. Like, astronomically, it's absolutely worth it. Um, but what I was going to say is that you just have to outlast the temporary and really, especially us spiritual. I know my spiritual industry very well, inside and out. And so most of us were like, oh, we're met with resistance, right? It's just not meant for me. I got rejected 100 times. It's just not meant for me, right? No, no, that's not the case. Again, it is those challenges, those struggles are handcrafting you to be the person that you see on the other side when you see that finish line. So
Yeah.
when challenges, when struggles, when hardships come up, again, embrace them, because first of all, you can choose to be miserable through it, or you can find some happiness within it. But
Yep.
also, that's a direct reflection that your manifestation is actually happening. It is happening.
I like that. Thank you for that. Reminding us it's possible we could do it and break those barriers. All right, we still have 5 minutes left in the show. Haley, what else did you want to make sure we go across, come across for today?
Yeah, well, then I would love to speak more about the challenges and hardships because, you could have looked at me losing. I mean, I had um, $40,000 saved that I threw into a business that was failing and losing money and getting rejected, and kept going, kept spending thousands of dollars on Facebook ads every month, was still taking calls, was still, like I went through it. I went
Mm-hmm.
through it, lost a lot of things. And so, but that's why I get to have this opportunity to speak with you today. That's why I'm actually between homes right now. I'm upgrading to a new house as we speak. We move
Oh,
in today.
congrats.
So yeah, amazing upgrade. So, but none of that would have been given to me if I didn't pay the price for the dream, right? So if we get it to a level that pretty much everybody can understand, because sometimes it helps to speak in generalities.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say pay the price for your dream, I know a lot of leaders say that, a lot of personal development leaders say that, but it's absolutely true. So if you think about even weight loss, for example, right? The price you pay is getting out of bed and going to the gym even when you don't want to. The price you pay is changing your diet and eating better even though you don't want to. Sometimes that even means changing the people that you hang out with. Sometimes that means choosing to cook at home rather than going out to eat at a restaurant, right? That's all a price you pay in order to have a healthier body or to have your dream body, right? So what I was doing, because creation knew that I was meant, and I'm only in the beginning stages. Just wait, Jill. You're just wait, girl. Just wait. But but creator knew that where I'm going requires a lot of experience and requires a lot of um the word is escaping me, but I need that texture. I know that's not the right word, but it's a synonym to what I'm attempting or I'm trying to convey. But the bigger the hardships, the bigger the challenges, the more of a reward there is on the backside if you can grab the lessons, if you can grab the higher meaning, if you can find the purpose in the pain. And that's where that emotional intelligence comes in.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Also, just want to point out we only have 3 minutes left in the show. I know it's a little shorter than usual, so hopefully we can make that up to you the next time because we had the issue logging in. You didn't have the link, but how did you want to kind of end off for today?
So if you are a person that is applying the strategies, is applying the action, is practicing emotional intelligence, but you're still not seeing results, that is the time to grab a mentor, because you're still in a closed loop of yourself. You have blind spots that you can't see. They're blind spots for a reason. Now, that could be me or somebody else. I know that sounds self-serving. I don't mean it to sound self-serving. I genuinely care. But find somebody that you trust, find somebody that you resonate with, because I'm telling you, I have had mentors of my own. A mentor can change your life. It can take out all of the confusion. It can take out all of the suffering and all of the unnecessary misery. And a mentor can give you that context, give you that guidance, give you that hope. I am here to speak to the greatness that resides within you until you can see, feel it, and own it yourself. And then when you can do that, you're unstoppable. You can do anything.
And
I'm on a
that's,
mission.
yep, clearly. And we love it. Thank you for your inspiration, for your positivity, and wanting to help so many on this mission. So, how do you describe your mission? What is the mission?
The mission is to help, essentially, to help awaken the divinity and the self-empowerment within you so that you can go out there and live your dreams, whether that be the dream home, whether that be the higher calling, whether that be finding the love of your life, whatever it is. I just want you to know the fullness and greatness and the full potential of possibility, which I know is like the same word, but the full potential of possibility that is available for you when you get out of your own way and truly free yourself of really everything.
Got it. Well, thank you for that and for joining us and for being so inspirational. Haley, how can we reach you? Would you mind sharing all forms of contact?
Yeah, so 5stepstoalignment.com. I'm also on YouTube, LinkedIn as Haley Carbajal, YouTube, 5 Steps to Alignment Official. I'm on Facebook and I'm really active on Instagram. So Instagram is the @ and then 5 Steps to Alignment.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you then next time.
Yeah, sounds good. You have a great day, Jill.
Thank you, you too. And to all of our listeners and viewers, stay tuned. More of the show is coming right up. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.